Vodka, 40 milliliters.
40.
Triple sec, 15 milliliters.
Triple,
Cranberry juice,
15.
30 milliliters. Lime juice, 15 milliliters.
15. Ooh, oh. Let's begin! Bartender VR Simulator is a game that requires very good memory skills, just like a real life bartender would need. The main aim is to work your way to the top of a bartender scene. The game includes 4 different bars, including a music club and a tropical beach, and each one has increasingly difficult drinks to make. The game requires 2 move controllers to play, as you will be using 2 hands to pick things up. I did experience quite a few tracking issues, and sometimes when I picked up an object, my hand didn't grasp it at the angle that I wanted it to, which forced me to bend my wrist to make the object become upright. It was uncomfortable, and it's a shame, especially for a game that is all about precision. To successfully make a drink, you actually have to do every step like you would in real life. You have to place down a napkin, pick the right glass, add ice, choose the right ingredients, and finally, insert a straw. It sounds easy, but it's really not, due to how many things you must remember. Not only must you remember what ingredients each drink has, but you also have to remember the amount of each ingredient. For example, when pouring alcohol, a percentage bar is seen, and it's up to you to stop pouring when the required number is met. If you go too far over, the drink becomes ruined, and you must start over again. The same applies if you use the wrong alcohol. When pouring the liquid, it actually looks and feels quite realistic, and if you miss a glass with it, it is taken notice of. You also have to remember what type of fruit and how many pieces need to be placed on the drink. The problem is that the game doesn't ease you into each drink's process in an enjoyable way. Each club has a practice mode, but in this, the game expects you to remember the process of 4 drinks, which are taught one after the other. It's extremely difficult to remember each one. Luckily, the game does come with a single drink mode, where you can be taught how to make 1 drink at a time, but doing the same drink over and over again until it's lodged into your memory just isn't that much fun. It actually feels like work and effort, but I guess that is what this simulator is all about. The main aim of the game is to beat each club's challenge mode. In these, you will be given randomly selected drinks to make from the 4 you just learnt. You are on a time limit here, and you are rewarded with money depending on how well you followed each drink's previous instructions. If you don't remember a drink step, you can ask for a hint, which will reveal what to do next, but doing so will deduct some money from you. You don't want to keep asking for these hints, as you do need a good amount of money at the end to unlock the next bar's challenge map. The money you earn can't be spent on anything to unlock though, and it is really only there for high score chasing. When you finally beat each challenge stage, you receive a certificate and a pro mode is unlocked, and this really will test your skills. In this mode, you are on a timer again, and you will have to remember all 16 of the previous drinks, as any one of them could pop up as a request. These requests do only show up as the drink's name and image in front of you. No one actually comes up to the bar and orders, which does hurt the simulation the game is going for. It's actually quite hard to make out the facial features of people too, as the game's image quality is quite blurry on things in the background. The bar itself does look great though, and as you would expect, the depth is amazing. To get behind each of the bars though, you will need to recenter your position in the world by holding down the options button, as each time you enter one of the locations, you appear off to the side and floating high above the ground. It's odd that this was overlooked, and it even happens in the main menu. Some of the game's interactions are done quite well, like when you scoop up ice cubes. They wobble around, as they do have a physics engine attached, and you must actually pop open a can of drink or use a bottle opener on a bottle. They're all responsive and fun to do, but then some interactions just don't feel as great, like when you must stir a drink or when you must use a drink shaker. When shaking, it actually feels quite awkward, because instead of holding one single object like you see in the virtual world, you're actually holding 2, which are the move controllers. It just feels odd, and you'll likely bump them into each other. I don't know how long the game would take to complete, because honestly, I gave up. Learning every single drink is a very frustrating process, especially when you get into the last clubs, as the drinks have so many steps to remember. Just know that everyone's completion times will be very different, as it will heavily depend on how good your memory skills are. I can't show the game's trophies, as they're not appearing on PSN. Overall, the game does achieve what it sets out to do, but it's just not fun to play, and it doesn't do its best to encourage you to get better. The game simply doesn't ease you into making each drink in an enjoyable way, and it's actually one of the more stressful experiences I've had on the PSVR. If you don't have an extremely good memory, you're going to be practicing the same drink over and over again. You could take a break from this, as the game does come with a free play mode, where you can do whatever you want, but unless you're really into making your own drinks, or smashing bottles for fun, the mode just doesn't offer much else. Simply put, this game isn't for me at all, and even if this game does sound appealing to you, be warned that you will likely face some tracking issues, so frustration will still likely play a role behind the bar at some point. It really is better to be on the other side.
Take a martini glass and strain the drink.
Really?
Martini cocktail.
I do enjoy certain game simulators, but this one just isn't for me at all. It really does demand very good memory skills, and doesn't really reward your efforts. As always, if you enjoyed this review, please give it a thumbs up, and subscribe for more PSVR content.